Welcome to SomeGuy's Garage. Today we're going to take a look at the new stand I built for my milling machine. This is a Craftex CX-601 that did come with a stand here, but I wanted to make some changes, so I've built a new stand. If you haven't seen the video on this milling machine yet, take a look. I'll leave a link in the description below. But before we take a look at the stand itself, a quick montage of how I built the stand. So that's how I built the stand, but let's take a closer look. So the stand is made with 2-inch square tubing. It's 1/8-inch wall and just standard mild steel structural tube. And I did use a little bit of 1.5 here down below. The mill itself came with a stand. So this gray box in here is the stand that comes with the mill. The reason I didn't want to continue to use it just as is I have the console for my lift here. And given the height of the stand, the table and the console for the lift actually interfered. So I wanted to raise the mill up a little bit. And these stands are, well, they're okay. They're a little on the wobbly side. They're not the strongest things ever. So I wanted to also give it a little bit more stability. You can see it's wider than the original stand, and the extra weight helps as well. So like I mentioned, I wanted to raise this up a bit. The lift console being here, having that extra height lets me push it further back. So before it was actually sticking out another 6, 8, 10 inches this way, and there was more of a gap here as well. So by lifting the stand up, I could actually push it back this way, clearing the lift console and just giving me a little more space around the workshop area here. It doesn't stick out past the kind of the run here. So that was one of the big reasons that I went ahead and built this. Like I said, the stand here is all well and good, but it didn't quite work out for the layout I had here. And the stand I've now built gives me the ability to move it, which I'll touch on in a moment here as well. So the old stand is just basically bolted in at the bottom here. And I kept it because I didn't want to get rid of it. It matches the mill, and also just to give me some storage. So in the front here, I'm able to store collets and clamping stuff and some other accessories for the mill itself. So it's handy just to have a little bit of storage, and I don't have to get rid of the stand itself. So the mill itself is just bolted to the steel tube itself. There's holes in through here so I could get the bolts connected, and there's just nuts on the back side. I also left a couple holes through, you can see them here and here, as well as on the other side. And you'll notice here on the other side, there is one bolt in here. So I actually put nuts welded on the back side of the tube. So if I ever want to attach, say, some sort of accessory, like maybe a little table here or something, I can just use a standard 1/2-inch bolt and connect it to the stand itself that way. So the other thing I've done is left holes in all the corners here for a pair of bolts. and that's to attach the casters here. So these will bolt in to the stand like this, and I can put a floor jack underneath here just to lift it up enough to get those bolted in. And that gives me the ability to wheel the milling machine around if I ever need to move it, just with these casters. It's the same set of casters that I use to move the lathe as well. So they're the exact same set of casters, and those bolt onto the inside of the tubes here. These bolt onto the outside of the tubes here, but same idea. I can just jack it up and then move this stand around. And then the last little bit of detail is I did build leveling feet again. These are actually 1-inch nuts and bolts, and I just weld that all together with a little foot on it and some rubber underneath for dampening and just to keep the metal up off the floor. But this gives me the ability to level the mill fully and account for some of the unevenness in the floor. No floor is perfect, so with these I can actually just get this thing perfectly level and very stable. So that was just a quick video on the new stand I built for my milling machine. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you aren't already subscribed, please consider it. And as always, thanks for watching.